Hey, how's it going everyone? It is Drago. We're back with another fairy tale video. We're doing a little bit of a fun video today. We're just going to see what possible star dress mixes could happen in the future and what they would do. I'm not going to really talk about what the star dress mix would look like. I just kind of want to go over like what possible abilities and combos some of these could have. So first off, spoilers for Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. At the time of me recording this, we are on chapter 139, so this might be outdated in the future. And I'm not going to go over every possible combination, because some of these I couldn't think of like a cool way to differentiate them. But here are some of the combos that I thought could be pretty cool. The first Star Dress mix combo that I came up with was a Leo and Cancer star dress mix. So the initial idea that I came up with was you have the blades that the regular Cancer star dress has, but it has the additional effect of adding Regulus to the blades themselves, making the blades very lightsaber-like, which would definitely add to the attack power of the blades because you're getting, a blade slash along with the added Regulus power. And I think additionally you could have it do like slashes of light, like it makes like projectiles come out of the blade, which I feel would be very similar to Ichigo from Bleach. His move gets a Tensho, to where it kind of has a similar effect of like he swings his blade and it has like a projectile like energy wave come off of the blade. And even adding Regulus to the blades, I feel would make them significantly stronger, because Loki was like doing really well with like Regulus against like weapons and stuff during Tartaros. I feel like adding that to a blade will significantly buff its durability and also like have it cut through things probably it normally couldn't. The next star dress mix being Virgo and Taurus star dress mix. Immediately the first thing to me that came to mind when I thought about this mix in particular was from Naruto. The Chunin exams with Naruto fighting Neji and like him popping out of the ground and like uppercutting Neji, which is literally all that I can imagine for this dress, which I feel would very much be its strength, with Lucy being hidden underground and attacking with the strength of Taurus. It very much has Lucy in stealth and, being hidden from the enemy and attacking when they're completely not expecting it. And I feel like that bump of the Taurus would significantly help us, because if you're trying to do a hidden attack, hitting them with the max amount of strength possible is probably the way to go. The next star dress mix being Aries and Scorpio, which this one I even gave a nickname. I nicknamed it Steel Wool, which, yes, there is no steel to this, but Gajiel was called Black Steel Gajiel, even though he was iron, even though he later got steel down the line. So I feel like we can be a little bit generous with the nicknames here. So with this mix, you're essentially adding Scorpio's sand to Aries' wool, and it would make the wool very rough, which already, Aries' wool will trap opponents within the wool, but it doesn't really damage them. It just kind of traps them in there and they feel nice. So additionally, adding Scorpio's sand to the wool will add a damaging component to the sand. So, when they're trapped in it, they're also getting damaged by the rough pieces of sand within the wool, constantly damaging who's ever inside, which I can see this being very good as a crowd control kind of dress if there's a ton of enemies and she just wants to trap them and also damage them. The next star dress mix being Aquarius and Sagittarius. So this could be very interesting, adding water to Sagittarius's arrows. So obviously if you get water to a high enough pressure, it's pretty much able to cut through anything. So what if you added a arrow that had water pressure on the tip of it that was, high enough to pierce pretty much anything, that it comes in contact with, which I feel like would be a very cool addition to Sagittarius's arrow, adding this water cutting tip that makes this arrow essentially pierce through literally anything, which this also adds an element to the arrow and, helps Lucy fight, other element users. So I had a few ideas as to what to do with the Gemini half of a dress. And the one dress that currently does have Gemini as part of a star dress mix, which is Gemini and Aquarius, is extremely strong. And that one is very unique as to what effects it had with Lucy. And as I was thinking it over, if you paired it like with Scorpio, is that going to be very similar to the Aquarius version of it, but just with sand, you know? So I was trying to think of like what are unique ways to portray this. And I mean, some really strong examples would be Gemini and Sagittarius, to where you literally have a firing squad of Lucys all, you know, firing arrows at you. But in my mind, that was just too simple of an answer to, you know, put here. I wanted something a little bit more unique, because essentially you really could have just, you know, Gemini just copy the base star dress of Lucy a ton of times and just add additional effects to it. And the one I kind of came up with was Gemini and Virgo. This would make multiple versions of Lucy, and most of these versions of Lucy are going to be clones. And under these clones would be some traps, you know, laid out for the Virgo side of this dress. So essentially you have a bunch of fake Lucys that would cause negative effects if you damage them or get near them, because you're going to activate these traps. And one real Lucy that could formulate plots to, you know, how she's going to defeat you. Again, kind of taking a Naruto influence here with kind of the shadow clone jutsu, but Naruto shadow clones didn't really have any traps associated with them. And obviously you can have the clones of Lucy do things like Uranometrium or, you know, other additional things. So leave in the comments your guys' thoughts of potential star dress mixes in the future. These are just a couple that I came up with that I thought would be pretty fun if they happened. I'm very curious to know what you all think. I've been thinking about doing this video for a while, but this really got put into motion due to a poll that I just did. So please leave your comments as to things you would like to see in the future. I have no problem doing videos about, you know, viewer submitted ideas. Otherwise, thank you for watching, and this is Drago signing out.